Where are we, Tim?
We are somewhere in the Welsh Alps, Paul. If you look in the distance to your right, you'll see on the horizon there, the Alps in their finest, looking their finest today, in the brilliant sunshine that we have surrounding us. But I think it might be Gelligaer Common, or is it Hengoed Common?
Cattwg Common.
Gelligaer Common.
And what's that there then?
I don't know, it's a stone. Is that the outline of a church?
Well, we're hoping it is.
You know more about this than I do.
We're hoping that this is the outline.
Convent of Gwladys, circa 430 AD.
I probably got the date wrong.
Probably.
But that's supposed to be the footings for the monastery.
This was the monastery, was it?
Yeah, apparently.
Or the church of the monastery. Anything else in the landscape that shows us that there was any sort of grange or...
Well, Alan Wilson says that they found a stone here for Gwladys, dedicated to Gwladys, and that's not it. It's a modern recreation of something with probably an incorrect date on it. And he says that is the mother of Cadoc, St Cadoc of Llancarvan fame.
I see.
Who was the wife of King, and I'm not going to get this pronunciation right, apologies for that, Glywys, who was the father of Cadoc, and Cadoc obviously encouraged his parents to embrace Christianity, for he was one time King Glywys, and he's supposedly buried in St Woolow's Cathedral in Newport, where the Chartists are also buried.
So is that the same Glywys? Is it his daughter occurs on the Ogmore stone? Down at the stone that was at Ogmore Castle was found at Ogmore Castle in 1928 and is in the St Fagans Museum, but not the main bit of the museum.
Is their daughter could be Nurtat, is it?
Yeah.
Sister of Cadoc?
Yeah.
Well, that would be the time scale, and that would be 6th century, 500s, I think. And over there in the distance we have Gelligaer, with its supposed Roman fort. I wonder where the entrance was then to this monastery, off ground, above ground level. Which way is north?
You know, these tyres look new.
They do, don't they? Well, we've got a couple of memorial stones here. And we're very impressed that we found these footings, foundations, on account of we've spent about half an hour or more, maybe an hour, perambulating over the common in the opposite direction, over that hill there, where we parked up. And for the life of us, we couldn't see this. We just needed better directions. Eventually we found it though. That's quite well built when you think of it. Look at that corner. That's and all the corners beautifully square.
It's a big church, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, compared to St Peter's.
Yeah. And that's the stone part of it.
Well,
So that
is this a church upon a church upon a church, or was there an earlier one elsewhere? Or was there...
Yeah, there would have been a lot of wood around here as well, wooden buildings.
It's another one on top of a mountain, isn't it?
It's out of the way.
Yeah.
And Gelligaer Church. Any idea who it's dedicated to?
I have no idea. I've never seen it. It's sort of bolted to the wall.
So this is Gary. Hello, Gary.
Yes.
Gary, the vicar of the parish.
Yes. Gelligaer, yeah.
Gelligaer. What can you tell us about the stone then, Gary?
Well, I can't tell you an awful lot other than that, as it says here, it was bought here in 1906 when it was discovered on the common, and it's believed to have been discovered at the site of St Glywys' chapel, Cattwg Gwladys, where it's believed St Glywys retired in her later years. That was her cell where she lived and prayed, and she of course was the mother of St Cadoc, who is this church is dedicated to.
And wife of?
Wife of Gwynllew, who we know today as St Wyllis, the patron of Newport, the cathedral in Newport. He was a king in this area, and this was the centre of his little kingdom, if you like.
And from this Norman church you can see two other Norman churches.
You can see St Cadoc in Manithysloin and St Sannans in Bedwellty, just across the valley from here. Whichever one you're in, you can see, on a clear day, you can see the other two.
Especially if you're up the tower.
Yeah, especially up the tower. They've been used as beacon churches over the years. In fact, the last time St Sannans had a beacon lit was for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee a couple of years ago, a few years ago.
But that was the site.
Yeah, it was.
So there's no writing on the church,
No writing.
on this stone.
No.
Do you know where that was found?
It was found in 1906, so according to that, and brought here for preservation. Yeah. And it's supposed they say it dates from the 9th and 10th century.
Was it lying down then when they found it?
I have no idea. It must have been damaged, because I don't think this has happened since it came into church. It must have been found in that condition.
Yeah. Nothing on the top at all.
No, nothing on the top. And the groove, couple of grooves.
Oh, it's a sharpening groove, is it? I was hoping that was an Owen sign, but it's not. But that's marvellous. Thank you very much for opening up for us.
That's okay, you have no worries. We've got our village stocks on the wall as well.
Village stocks. Would you look at that? Oh, that's got graffiti on it.
It has. Yeah.
What a splendid church. You must be very pleased.
And this screen was put in by David Morgan. And it says in memory of David Morgan of Llandaff.
Of Llandaff, yeah.
Formerly of Poglotin. He was.
And so she was the mother?
The mother of Cattwg, yeah.
Of Cattwg. And the wife of Gwynllew.
Yeah.
So, did she have a daughter called Nertat? I'm just thinking of the Ogmore stone.
She may have.
Yeah, because she might have been. They might have had a daughter called Nertat, so I'll have to check in the old books.
That's a grand building, this, isn't it?
It's lovely.
It's lovely.
It's lovely, yeah.
It's got a very different feel to it down there. It's a lot of, some churches it's a bit more. It's lovely with all the panelling.
Well, it was, yeah, it was, I'd say it was heavily, in the Victorian times, it was one of the richest parishes in Wales.
Shows, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the rector, the rector lived on tithes. In Victorian times, the rector didn't live here, he lived in Cardiff.
Yeah.
And he paid 2 curates out of his own stipend, out of the tithe money to do all the work up here. Yeah. So they lived up here, and he
was just a
stepped down
at a
there
distance,
and collected the tithes.
Yeah.
Gary was saying that the wooden frame around the door, what was the word you used for it?
The screen.
Screen.
Yeah, it was put in memory of David Morgan, who owned the shop
Morgan's department store. In
because he was from Lottin.
I was at school with his grandson.
There we are. He was from.
He was called David Morgan.
He
as well.
married you.
I see.
So that's that. The family put that.
That's
in.
beautiful fretwork, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Is that the original height of the church up there, then with a window or something?
That window there is on the first floor of the tower. It's for sort of getting the bells and getting things in and out.
Oh, right.
So was a church that was up on the mountain where the stone was found? Was that part of a monastery, or somebody somewhere said something about a monastery being up there?
Yeah.
But it just looks like to me. It just looks like a the outline of a early church.
Yeah. It could well.
It doesn't look like there's much of a grange or anything like that.
No, I don't think so. But this was before, in Victorian time, this was the parish church for all of this side of the valley, from Ystrad up to Dowlais.
Yeah.
Vochrw, Lottin.
Wow, long way then.
And Bedlinog to Lewis was all part of
Huge
the parish of Gelligaer.
Yeah.
And this was the only church then, and then the Victorians built the new ones, and the new parishes were created when the towns grew around the colonies. It was all